Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you what, my heart is breaking by seeing this chat right now. And let me tell you what, folks, I still am not under the impression that Brandon Beane, mostly because he's cheap, is going to make any move for Davante Adams. The reason that I did this stream was that everybody in the national media, like every single time a big name wide receiver is on the market or up for trade, for some reason, the Buffalo Bills are always in the conversation, right? Now, whether or not that's Brandon Beane making a call on whoever the hell exists within the National Football League, I don't know what it is. But on today's episode, we are going to be looking at what the national media is suggesting, what some of these quote unquote inside sources are saying as well. And I'll tell you what, here's the deal. I actually have a source, excuse me, that says that Adams would be interested in playing for the Buffalo Bills. However, it's not Adams' choice, right? It's not Adams' choice. This is exclusively for the Raiders. This is exclusively from whether or not that Brandon Beane does want to pull the trigger. But according to my source, he would be open to playing for the Buffalo Bills. He likes Josh Allen, and he's not the kind of guy that's going to be throwing him hospital balls like he has been subjected to over in Vegas, for that carousel of QBs that have come there since Derek Carr ended up departing. So that's good news. That is good news that he would at least be willing to play because he likes Josh Allen. And it's not necessarily about that because a lot of people are like, oh my God, you heard what he said about Buffalo, blah, 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 blah. However, according to what I have heard, he would be open because he likes Josh Allen. And the number one thing that he wants is really just to preserve his health. It's not so much like, yo, like I want a ring, or hey, I want to be on a team because I want so to get the absolute bag. I genuinely believe that he is concerned for his safety, right? Like just watch Netflix's wide receiver from last year, watch his demeanor on the sideline. Like this dude just wants to be able to preserve his damn career and play with a quarterback that knows what he's doing. So that's good. That's good news. The problem is that he has no say in this. He has zero say in where he goes. This is not free agency right now. This is where the Raiders are willing to trade him to, right? And if you haven't ended up having, or say for example, you haven't heard, they just ended up releasing that they have no interests whatsoever in sending him off to the Kansas City Chiefs, which makes sense. Why would you send him off to a rival within the division, hurt them down the road? Absolutely zero chance. So if it comes down to it, here are some of the teams that I think are likely. And we're going to go through what some of the national media is saying, why they think it makes sense, how they could get it done. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, where we look at our overall cap situation, and I explained while he has a $16,890,000 salary contract, there's no guarantees after 2025. And all of the guarantees in 2024 were paid by the Raiders already. So whatever team does end up grabbing Davante Adams is only going to be responsible based off of what is remaining on his base salary in 2024. And just to save you some time and some math, each and every single game that he is still on the Raiders roster, it's $1 million less. Where we stand, I think his remaining salary is around $12 million. Every single week from now on that he is still on the Raiders, that subtracts by about $1 million. And the Raiders have even suggested that they would be willing to eat a little bit of that salary as well. This ended up happening with that defensive player from the Seattle Seahawks last year when he was shipped over and the team was just like, look, I just want to get this guy out of here. We will eat this much amount of the salary. So there's ways of getting this done for the Buffalo Bills. Do I think that it's going to happen? No, I don't. I mean, with Brandon Beane is just too cheap. I will tell you that I guarantee you he's made a phone call. I guarantee you he's made a phone call. It's just in his DNA. He's going to test the waters anytime that there's a player that can take this team to the next level. And I also want to go out and say that I genuinely don't believe that this team needs him. But would I be pissed off if he was here? Absolutely not. Let's talk about this. Shout out my boy Corey in the chat already. I hope we don't trade Davante. I think he is a Jet. I mean, listen, I would say that that's probably the most likely landing spot. He just ended up saying that he would prefer to go to a team where a quarterback that he is familiar with, right? But the thing is that like some things that like we need to remember is that he genuinely has no choice of where this team sends him off. I don't believe he has a no trade clause. He could go wherever the hell the Raiders want to send him. And let's think about, all right, let's think about the New York Jets for a second. Now, so he's about 30, 31, maybe 30 years old, maybe 32. And so I look at this Jets roster and I see players like Garrett Wilson and I see players like Sauce Gardner and I see players like Quincy Williams and I see players that are really a part of their DNA that are still on rookie contracts. And while the Jets are in a pretty decent place as far as the cap space is concerned, they have a lot of future money in contracts that they need to spend within the next couple of years. And I just have a feeling that Joe Douglas is going to prioritize youth and keeping the core together after the Aaron Rodgers days are over with. Because how many more years does Aaron Rodgers have, right? So I think what a lot of people aren't discussing right now is the fact that, like, will Joe Douglas, who is drafted very well right within the Jets, who has a lot of very young talent that is set up to be paid within the next couple of years, will he risk that? He could, especially if like he still has sights on winning a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, which I'm sure he does. I would be pissed off if any GM decided that that wasn't the case. But I don't know. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Give me a roll call. Give me a roll call in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what team you are currently representing. Let's make that happen. Why would you trade for a wide receiver on this team? That is dumb. I don't think that we would send over a wide receiver. I think that we would send over a second-round pick, though. I really don't want him to go to the Jets, even though Rodgers is done after this year, if he makes it to the end of the year. Dan, Jets GM and coach get fired if the season doesn't turn around. They're going to get this done. Exactly how many catches is Keon and Kincaid supposed to have? 8 for 126 and a touchdown for Coleman is fine in 4 games, and Kincaid 13 for 132. And a touchdown is also fine for 4 games, plus 3 and 1. Absolutely. We will see. Jetted out is coming in. Worry about that run defense and Vaughn the next 4 weeks. Worry about the Vikings in London, the undefeated Vikings in London, jetted out. Worry about them. Worry about Sam Darnold absolutely making your defense see ghosts next week, baby. Worry about that. I like Jets fans, except for this iPad kid, which is right down here, man. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I love you. I'm just kidding. It's all about and hey, listen, don't be mad if I start talking some shit to Jets fans, all right? You should be happy, all right, that you have gotten to the level right now where I actually do want to talk shit to you. Back when you were a dumpster fire, I felt bad for you. That's basically where the Dolphins are for me right now. You know what I mean? I used to love talking shit to Dolphins fans. Now I just feel terrible. Like now I feel bad. You know what I mean? Like now I feel like that I would be their last reason in their 13 reasons why. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't talk crap to Dolphins fans anymore. Soft hands. Absolutely. Sam's going to be seeing ghosts this week in England. Go Bills, Pensacola, Florida. What's up? What up, dude? And so I'm in 30A. So I'm not too far away from you, my friend. What's going on? How you doing? We have played without Vaughn before. What are we scared of? I mean, listen, dude, we have played without Von Miller for like literally 2 years. Don't even look at last year. Dude was an absolute ghost. He wasn't even on the damn radar, all right? We know how to play without Vaughn when he's injured and when he is healthy, all right? He just so happened to be solid in his first 4 games back, which I'm thankful for. And listen, don't sleep on Gregory Rousseau, baby. Things are going to be good. We have played without Vaughn before. What are we scared of? Bills don't show up to play against the Ravens. That doesn't mean the season is over. Absolutely, man. Listen, everyone knows that the Buffalo Bills drop a game, all right? Drop an embarrassing game that pisses fans off. And let me tell you what, I have seen nothing but negativity in the chat. And I'm not mad at you, all right? I'm not. I felt that way for about 24 hours after the Bills and the Ravens game. It's human nature. It's human nature, baby. That's precisely what it is. But this team is going to bounce back. And say, for example, you're just discovering me. What's going on, folks? I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on bell notifications, mostly because I'm releasing my full game preview of the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans later this afternoon. I've already done So I've already started crunching the numbers and understanding how I'm going to present this to you guys, hopefully make you feel a bit more confident walking into Sunday against Houston in Houston. So subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications. We want 50,000 subscribers by the end of the NFL season. It's a lofty goal, but I shoot for the stars over here, baby. Just like everybody in this damn chat. I love it. And the only thing I can't stand about this front office is that they never go after a massive piece midseason and just go through the motions and wonder why we can't get over the hurdle. Why are people surprised we lost to Baltimore? They're 22-3 in prime time under Harbaugh. Better run game, better secondary, better coach. Tyreek Hill didn't get suspended for the smack in the head to that dude last year. And what about his speeding this year? But Vaughn wasn't found guilty of anything, still gets suspended. It's completely backwards, man. And you know what, dude? Like, I'm sorry, but I've been having a bunch of blue hairs in my mentions being like, oh, what do you mean? Look at what he did. Listen, I'm not saying that he's a good human being, all right? I would not let him watch my children by any stretch of the imagination, all right? Yes, what he did was a scumbag thing, but I'm saying match the same energy when it comes into it, folks. Chill out, blue hairs, all right? Chill the damn out. Chill out, bro. I'm not justifying what he did. I'm just saying match the same energy when you suspend people. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Is Taron Johnson or Bernard playing? I certainly hope so. I will get back to you. Vaughn versus the punk god equals Bills hypocrites. Adams not coming here. I wish he would. Rice would have been suspended. Exactly, Nicholas. We now have an anchor bar in Arlington. Unfortunately, the wings were pre-cooked and dry. And the Weck roll is the new soft style, not a Kaiser roll. Fuck them, Craig. How dare them destroy this. 154 of you in the chat right now. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel as we go through what some of the national media is saying about this. This is a beautiful thing. Let's check this out. Okay, it's a damn game and the NFL is entertainment. It's not like it's you to be back in the day. It's not like it's you to be back in the day. I don't know what you mean by that, Wilson. What's going on though, Wilson? Welcome to the chat. I appreciate your contribution. What's up, Dan? How you doing? I don't care for Adams. It was just one game and everyone wants to panic. Buffalo will be just fine. Let them doubt us. Bills are better when they are not under the radar. I 1,000% agree with you. I take 2 years of cap hell if it meant a near guaranteed Super Bowl. I mean, dude, here's the thing, right? Like, here's my problem with that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at teams that have like a superstar wide receiver core for the past couple of years. Last year's AFC Championship had the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Who was their best wide receiver? Not tight end. Who was their best wide receiver last year on both teams? Ravens was a rookie in Zay Flowers, a slot receiver. And the Kansas City Chiefs' best was a rookie in Rashee Rice. It's just how it is, man. Listen, like a star-studded wide receiver is not necessary to make it to the AFC Championship. That is where the league is going to. It's all about consistent and quality quarterback play. It really is. Zero chance. He's already old and expensive AF. Peter Wilson. Oh, I agree with you, but hear me out. He has no guarantees, and the Raiders already said that they would cover the vast majority of his overall salary. And I don't know. He probably wouldn't be as expensive since he is old as well. I don't think that he's going to be as expensive as people are trying to suggest that he is at this point, right? I mean, he is 31 years old, right? And a tall tale has to go with the fact that he's only going for a second-round pick. So I think the leaves are in front of us. Brett Patton. And are we going to get Davante or not? What do you know, Dan? Brett! What's going on, man? What's going on? Okay, what I know is that I have some sort of connect. I have some sort of source, but this means absolutely nothing. This means absolutely nothing because he has no say in where he goes. He has zero say in where he goes, okay? However, according to my source, he likes Josh Allen, and he would play for Josh Allen. He would go to Buffalo. But the problem is here, folks, is that he has no say in where he goes. He has zero say in where he goes. This is entirely up to where the Las Vegas Raiders want to send him. This is not free agency. He would be open to Buffalo, but can Brandon Beane be magical with the cap? Can he go from there? Is what it is. Dan, do you think the Bills should play Andreessen considering the weakness of the Bills in the run defense? I mean, listen, man, I love the story from Andreessen. I really, really do. Man, I feel like people are going to be really pissed off at me about this, but he only made the team because of the injuries that we had on the linebacker front. Second that Matt Milano comes back, second that we're fully healthy, he's likely going to be like pushed back down to the practice squad. It's just how it is. Richie thinks he does have a say. Got to imagine they won't let him go to the Chiefs. I don't believe he does have a say because he has no trade clause, right? And the Raiders just ended up coming out saying, we're not trading you to the Kansas City Chiefs. And listen, he could potentially go to the Jets, right? I'm saying that's still my most likely landing spot for him is the Jets. It's how it is. But I think what Richie is not looking at is how smart Joe Douglas is. Why would he pay a new contract to a wide receiver when he has 3 young, talented players on his defense, specifically one on his offense, that is going to be coming up for a new contract? And then on top of that, I think they need a new edge rusher since the Hassan Reddick situation really isn't making it out. I really don't know. I just know how we trust them all. I don't think Adams would be happy with Buffalo, even if he says he likes Josh Allen right now. We spread the ball too much for Adams to be happy. I don't want to disrupt that as a wide receiver one. I think, Joel, he doesn't want to leave the Raiders because he's not getting enough targets. He is. He wants to leave the Raiders because every quarterback he's had since Derek Carr has been throwing him hospital balls, man. Like, most dangerous passes a human being could be catching at any point. But I don't know. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. All right. So, like I said, I did want to go on ahead and take a look at what some of the national media is saying, because I didn't make this video because I think it's going to happen. I made this video because, as always, every single time that there's a star-studded wide receiver available during the trade block, right before the trade deadline, you always know that the Buffalo Bills are in the conversation, right? Like, these media heads are, hard as a rock and have the lotion on their damn nightstand ready to blast it up, baby. But this is what Field Yates has to say. The Bills unquestionably have a need for wide receiver help. I know people think the salary is fake, but it isn't. They are simply strapped for cap and have very little wiggle room for this year. If the Raiders were willing to absorb most of the Davante Adams base salary, the Bills could get in the mix. If that would ever happen, Buffalo would pay a heavier premium to make a deal happen, a la the Seahawks acquiring Leonard Williams last season. But I'll tell you what, there's way too many moving pieces for this. But that was a take from Field Yates. Let me see what else. If Davante Adams wants to be reunited with Aaron Rodgers, he can win with Josh Allen in Buffalo and grab a beer with Rodgers after the Bills beat them. Look at that, man. The best of both worlds. The best of both worlds. Developing. Sources close to wide receiver Davante Adams do not mention the Commanders being one of the most interested teams in trading for the all-pro wide receiver, the Tony Pauline. The most interested teams are the Jets, the Steelers, the Bills, and the Saints, folks. This is Tony Pauline. Let's go on ahead and make sure. A consulting editor at Sportskeeda. Okay. And then Brandon. Who is this fool? 13.4. Shout out to Brandon. What's going on? All right. Listen, man. Listen. We're just looking at rumors right here. Let's take all of these with a grain of salt. And the reason I think the Bills are and remember, since Von Miller ended up getting suspended, we added an additional $1.6 million to our cap for the 4 games that he is gone, right? So here's how it could potentially go. Say, for example, that they wait until the trade deadline, which is November 5th. Say that they wait until the trade deadline. It's like the last second at the 11th hour right beforehand. Each and every single game that Davante Adams plays, shave off $1 million of his 2024. Shave off $1 million of his 2024 expected base salary. If they do wait for that, then all he would be owed would be $8.5 million in base. And that is assuming that this Raiders team is not going to absorb any of that, all right? Like Field Yates just said, this happened with Leonard Williams last year with the Seattle Seahawks, how he was able to be moved on. However, that's also assuming that the Buffalo Bills wouldn't immediately restructure, give him a new contract, make his base salary closer to about 2, maybe even 1.9 million, and then just give him a massive signing bonus for a 3 to 4 year contract. Backload it as all of these contracts start to end up moving up. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Hence why the Saints are even in this conversation. If anybody is just like, dude, there's no way that the Buffalo Bills could afford this, look at the damn New Orleans Saints. How the hell are they in the conversation, bro? Like, those dudes have been like negative $75 million, I feel like, for the past 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. San Francisco primetime game after a bye in Buffalo Bills are a great after a bye under McDermott. Knox, hands good. I just don't know how you don't get Knox more in the game. 2 years ago, he was ripping teams. Yep, I hope the Jets focus on this trade all week. Sarah, I'll tell you what. So our friend Sarah's a massive Vikings fan. Sarah, we are all rooting for you in this chat. And so we are all on board of the Vikings train right now. Let me tell you what, we are all on board the Vikings train right now. Take care of the Jets in London for us. And it's going to be beautiful because we're going to be able to actually watch and enjoy that game prior to the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans facing off just a couple of hours later. That's going to be even more exciting. Sam Darnold, Sarah, send me a Sam Darnold jersey. I will rock that shit harder than you've ever seen in your life for the first game, all right? That's how it plays. Anthony, not really. He will take too much money away from them, about to be 32. If that's the case, they should have kept Diggs, who is 30. Think we sweep the division this year. I'm liking our chances. Yo, Dan, we good, bro. The Buffalo Bills shall rise again. I totally agree. And like I was telling you, right before I was going live and I had my countdown, man, I saw, so much negativity in the chat, bro. Like, listen, guys, I know that you thought we were going 17-0, but this team will rise again. I promise you, we always do. Moving on, what else do we have? Updated Davante Adams, next team, Bills at plus 600, folks. You have the Jets, Kansas City, who has already been taken out of the conversation. And the Ravens may even be a sleeper candidate for this wide receiver. Maybe they finally get Lamar Jackson a wide receiver. Who the hell knows? The Bills need to go all in on Davante Adams. Why? Route running, 5 out of 5. Consistency, 5 out of 5. Professionalism, 5 out of 5. 4, Josh deserves him. Billions out of 5. I like that. I like that, Buffalo Stray Dog. Shout out to you. All right. Okay. Money will be key. And Davante Adams is making $17.5 million this year. He's also under contract for 2025 and 2026 for a total of 72.5, $36.25 million in each year. None of it is guaranteed. A trading team would likely want to rework those terms. Adam turns 32 in December. We keep that in mind, folks. We keep that in mind. Who is going to be able to pay him the most money? And you know what? Let's take a look at this, right? So you have the Jets and the Steelers, the Bills and the Saints. If his biggest concern is playing with a quarterback that doesn't throw ambulance balls to him, okay? We can cut the Steelers out of the equation, all right? We can cut the Steelers out of the equation if they continue to ride with Justin Fields. He's been playing well. I'm happy for Fields, but he's right in line with Minshew, with whatever. So with O'Connell, he's gonna be putting the ball in harm's way, where Adams might get his shit rocked, all right? However, like I said, he has no say in where he goes. So maybe the Steelers. And they have money, and they were in the conversation for Brandon Ayuk. So don't be surprised there. The Jets. Everybody on earth is just like, yo, like, I think he's going to go to the Jets. And so do I. However, they have a lot of young talent that they need to pay, folks. Sauce Gardner's contract is not going to be cheap. Garrett Wilson's contract is not going to be cheap. Breece Hall's contract is not going to be cheap. Quincy Williams' contract is not going to be cheap. There's so many key pieces, young key pieces on that team that we need to ask ourselves, is Joe Douglas going to waste cap that he should be saving for his younger talent on a 32-year-old wide receiver? It's kind of where we're at right now. Richie Fresh is coming into town. What's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Morning. Need to know the energy to match for the Texans game. We're being a little humble or cocky. Let me know. Either way, I'm prepared to crank it and run through walls. All right, listen, my energy this week, all right, I'm going to be walking the line of humble and cocky. Like, y'all know the term humble and hungry. It's humble and cocky this week, boys. You know what I mean? Like, keep the cockiness internally, okay? But spew humbleness. You know what I'm saying? So that way, once we're internally correct, we can celebrate appropriately. But say that we shit the bed, then we can say, hey, listen, I was humble all week. I was humble all week. What are you talking about? That's how I'm going to be doing it. Feel free to go on ahead and follow suit. Anyway, Richie, thank you so much, man. I will be cranking it myself. And the things Adams can/will be able to teach Keon just from him being on the field gets me going. Ryan, me too, man. Me too, man. Someone crank up the baby oil, my boys. I'm just kidding. That's way too soon. That's way too soon. Some of us, for Shakir, Cook, Kincaid, Benford, etc. Same for us for that. Dan, they tried to get him last year, and Raiders were trading him. Dan, you know Rodgers went straight to Woody to get this done. He's not wasting time for Joe Douglas. Well, hey, listen, Sarah, normally I would agree with you, but I wonder how pissed off Joe Douglas is right now based off of his press conference last week. I wonder how pissed off he is, because that's a story a lot of us aren't talking about. I think we can bounce back and beat both Houston and the Jets. Teams only win 25% of the time the week after playing in London. Jordan Smith, that's a hell of a damn stat, and I absolutely love it. Green Bay is cold like Buffalo. It's not like he'll be withered or unnatural in the environment. Absolutely. I love that. Damn with the baby oil take. Too funny. Thank you, Blair. Thank you, man. I really try to keep you guys laughing regardless of what we're doing right now. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. All right? And turn on those bell notifications, because I'm live every single Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST, bringing you all of the NFL rumors, NFL news, Buffalo Bills takes, nonsense, baby oil jokes. It's all here on the Dan Mitchell channel, baby. That's precisely what it is. And on today's topic, we're discussing the Davante Adams situation. And I highly recommend that you do subscribe, because I'm going to be giving my full game preview of the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans, releasing later this afternoon. And let me tell you what, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Let's be kidding. I always toot my own horn. It's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece preview video, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. I think Adams would like to play for an actual QB, who would be Josh Allen. Need to start doing something, because Allen's not getting any younger. When they going to put a squad around him? Yeah, we don't need all the stars, but all of the other teams do it with their QBs, but never did. It's with Allen. Personally, through adding more weapons won't help the Jets. They need offensive line guys. Absolutely. And so I would even dare say that they also need pass rushing help as well. I feel like that is way higher on the priority list than what it was. Called Baltimore Paper Tiger, still eating crow. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I have been eating crow myself, but it is what it is. JD is coming in. Dan, not only do the Jets and Bills need to go after him because he is good, but the league better hope he don't go to the Ravens, or the game is over. And the Ravens are certainly in the conversation. However, based off what I'm seeing, it sounds like that they're not even in the conversation based off of a couple of other things here. But let's see what else we got here. Adams' odds have shifted considerably this morning. We have the Jets at plus 115, plus 300, Chiefs plus 500. They are out of the conversation right now, folks. That's just how it is. Richie Fresh, if this has to be said, why not go above and beyond with Adams? I feel Bean has this mindset that we have a great quarterback, that we don't need it, but we do, in my opinion. Well, from what we're gathering from all of these reports right now is that the Buffalo Bills are at least interested. They are at least interested at this point. So let's see. Stroud is all right, but really think he's overachieving last year. Always takes a step back after the tape gets out. Josh, oh my God, Josh is the best quarterback in the league. He's going to end up a Jet, but I think Ravens and Commanders are the best fit, to be honest. If Adams goes to the Jets, Wilson ain't seeing the ball thrown to him one bit. Rodgers is throwing to Adams and Lazard. That is it. Wilson is going to not be happy. And why would you want to do that to your young wide receiver? Ravens don't care to throw it enough. If you can get a superstar like Adams, you do it. No questions asked, but Bean needs needs to ask teams if any elite pass rushers are available, some with an outside linebacker. I feel like we need to focus on our defense. We got huge injuries, but Adams would be nice. I mean, listen, absolutely. I mean, here's the deal, right? We have a star-studded defense at the top level, first teams, right? And I highly doubt us trading for like a starting linebacker and be like, hey, man, you're going to be our insurance policy. You're going to be like our second string linebacker in case somebody goes down. I'm not sure if that's going to be good for the culture of the locker room. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, listen, I'd be fine with another pass rusher. Like, I would be completely fine with another pass rusher. It's just, it just is what it is. We were just gap sound on defense, and offense of line got pushed all over like defense did. They just didn't show urgency. I feel like it won't happen, but I want it to happen. Me too, bro. That's precisely where my head is at right now. That's precisely where my head is at. 252 of you in here right now, folks. Smash that like button the second that you come in here and subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications. All right. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers. I know that we can do it. Out of all 472 of you in here, that is on YouTube and on X combined. I guarantee you at least 100 of you are not subscribed to the channel. So come on over, baby, and get on ready, because we're going to be having a damn exciting season. If I tell you what. Caden, PA, what's up? If Garrett Wilson was wide receiver 2, that only helps him. Our defense will be healthy by the end of the year, it seems, and Vaughn is only out for 4 weeks. He is set to return by October 28th, so that would be ideal. If Josh Allen gets Davante Adams, the Buffalo Bills are the new 2017 Golden State Warriors. By the time Vaughn is back, we have Taron and Bernard back, and Taron and Bernard may actually be back this week. I'll be honest with you, I would much rather rest them for 1 more week and save them for the New York Jets, just because this divisional matchup against the Jets is a hell of a lot more important in my eyes. But this Houston Texans matchup is very important to myself as well, but mostly because of narratives, right? Mostly because of the Diggs beef that was occurring this offseason. That's kind of where I'm at about the situation. Bills don't trade Stephon Diggs' 30-year-old ass just to get another 31-year-old. Listen, man. Listen, if you think that we traded Stephon Diggs because he was 30 years old, all right, then I don't think that you've watched a lot of Buffalo Bills football, man. We do not eat the cap that we did for Stephon Diggs this offseason if it didn't have anything to do other than the fact that he was a danger to the culture of the locker room. That clearly has been spelled out perfectly. We got rid of Stephon Diggs because he just wasn't a good teammate. He was selfish. It's just how it is. Listen, it's not age why we got rid of him. If it was age, we would have damn waited for the dude. We would have waited for the dude next offseason where we had an out on his contract. I mean, it's just how it is. And I'll tell you what about I'll tell you what about Brandon Beane as well. He's the kind of dude that is very fiscally responsible. I trust him when it comes into handling the books, making the moves that needs to be made prior to it. It's just kind of where I'm at right now. What if we went after Adams and possibly Max Crosby? Holy shit, man. All right, listen, I'm fine with attempting to manipulate the cap for 1 player, but 2 absolute stars? Give me a break. And Davante Adams holding out. He ain't playing against his former QB, which he's good friends with in this same division. All right. My dude, Caden. All right. Listen, bro. This is not like high school ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not high school ball where like your good friend and teammate transfers to another school, but he decides not to go to the absolute rival because, oh, dude, my boy's playing for that team. I would betray my teammates. Homie, these are adults right here, man. They are going where the best fit for their career is, all right? His friendship with Aaron Rodgers means 0. It means absolutely nothing. If he goes to the Jets, it's going to be for 1 reason and 1 reason only, because he wants to win a ring, bro. Like, this is not like high school sports or like Little Loop where like you have a loyalty to your teammates, man. Oh, dude, that's my best friend. I'm not going to go to his rival team. Fuck no, dude. Come on, man. This is not a Disney Channel original movie out here, baby. This is real world. This is real stuff right here, baby. This is real stuff right here. Didn't Adam say that Buffalo had the worst fans? He did say that he likes Josh Allen, though. Adams doesn't care where he goes, man. He just wants to win and get paid. And here's the deal. Here's one other thing I want everybody in this stream to walk away from right now. What Davante Adams wants means zero in this conversation. It means zero, folks. He is not a free agent. He does not have a no trade clause. He is being sent over to whatever team the Raiders decide to send him over to. It has zero to do with what Davante Adams wants. Zero. At like zilch, zero. Like negative 1,000. Has nothing to do with what he wants. Let's remember that. It's all about what the Raiders want. It's all about what team is willing to give the most capital. And Adams said, is the wide receiver series on Netflix. He was worried about the legacy. Dan, his friendship with Rodgers is everything. He literally said that Jets and Saints because he wants to play with a QB he knows as a relationship with. But yes, but JD Jets, he has no say. Bro, this is not free agency. This is not free agency right here. This is a trade. This is a trade. If anything, if the Raiders were smart, they'd send him over to the Saints because at least he wouldn't have a shot at hurting them down the road. And that's an important reminder. Like, I just want to remind everybody that Adams is not a free agent. He has zero say in where he goes. Zero, zilch, nada, negative 1,000. He has zero say in where he goes. I really just want Bernard and Johnson back. Our linebacker situation is really concerning. Buffalo have made the pot sweet for the Raiders. Every wide receiver says that until they get paid. This is a trade. He don't have a say like he does after the fact. Stumbo's coming in with a $10 donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Stumbo. Dan, we will be fine either way. Have a great day. I will be on later. Stumbo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Kat. You are awesome. You are awesome for always coming in here and showing love. And listen, I don't think he will be a Buffalo Bill. I genuinely don't believe that he will be a Buffalo Bill. Let me see. And so they have to go for it, and they need him, and he might know it, but he needs us. Josh and him can break the curse and get to the big one. He can fail the physical on purpose. Yeah, we had to come out of nickel because Cam can't do what Johnson does. Absolutely. I just tried to click on your Twitter notifications. Oh, no. Hey, man. Hey, man. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. You funny as hell. Look at that, baby. Look at that. I know. I know, baby. All right, listen. Let's go back to it real fast because I want to see Davante Adams. Come on, baby. Talk to me. Davante Adams, Buffalo Bills. Come on, baby. Talk to me. What do we got here? What do we got here? If you're the Buffalo Bills, you may as well give up your first rounder for Davante Adams. You need an elite wide receiver, and you're probably picking anywhere from 27 to 32 anyways. Just say, fuck it, go all in, get Adams, and let him and Josh Allen get you to a Super Bowl. I really don't think it's that crazy. And to be completely honest with you, Adams is going back to his old QB, so I don't know why y'all other teams getting excited going to New York. I'm sorry, bro, but like I gotta like rain on your parade. Oh man, I absolutely love it, man. What's going on? Bills O-line is trash too compared to the Jets. Caden, please tell me, like, you're 13 years old. Like you have to be a kid. Like, you have to be a child, like, in here, because every single ranking on PFF, advanced metrics, suggests that the Buffalo Bills offensive line is leaps and bounds better than the New York Jets. Leaps and bounds by like 10 plus like places. So I'm just assuming that you are, despite your teacher's knowledge, playing on your phone while you should be paying attention to the long division lesson in 4th grade right now, okay? So I'm going to let you go with that absolutely terrible take just because I know you're a little kid. That's it. Shout out, though. I appreciate you coming on in. Is a Jets fan. He's just projecting his pain. Bills O-line is just as good, if not better, than the Jets O-line. Guys, listen, he's a child, all right? He's a kid, all right? Don't blame him. Blame his parents for not cutting off his iPad time, okay? His iPad time genuinely needs to be looked at. Jeffrey Mayer, how you doing, man? How you doing? Adams will not be on the Bills, and the Raiders will ask for more than what the Bills are willing to offer. Brandon Beane is rebuilding cap space, not sacrificing it. Much love, Dan. Go Bills. Jeffrey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I mean, listen, Jeff, I honestly don't think that we're going to do it because Beane is just cheap as fuck. Say that we had someone that was a bit more reckless, then I think what could get it done is probably trading over that Minnesota Vikings second round pick, although that it's not going to be as good as we were hoping that it was going to be as of right now. And then maybe like a fourth or something along those lines. I don't know. But like I said, I sincerely appreciate that donation. You and I are in agreement. I just don't think it's going to happen because Beane is like, super tight. He's super cheap. He's super frugal when it comes into spending and finances of this organization. So we're going to have to figure it out. Buffalo will beat the Jets soon. Adams is really too expensive. NYC, New Jersey, you mean. Bills O-line is gold. Okay. 12 days away from the AFC's roundtable event at MetLife. LFG. Let's go. Yes! Listen, who's going to the AFC's roundtable event? Who is going to be watching myself, Richie, TD, Finstalk, and Colby battle it out at the tailgate while we attempt not to be tempted by the open bar? And who's ready to walk onto the field on MetLife, hold the American flag, and sit with your boys and hopefully watch the Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets? I'm excited for it, man. I am excited for it. My boy LJ is going to be there. That's my guy. I'm glad that we have some Bills fans coming and being a part of this overall experience. We're so happy about this. We don't need another diva. Yeah, no divas up in here, baby. And so I like Beane. Come on, dude. Beane rebuilt the team in a year. Have to say, I agree. I said that too, coming back from London, and the Jets are going to be jet lagged. Just hope not playing Tyrod Taylor. He scares me more than Rodgers. Where is the Bills event? Frankie Ferry. I'll tell you what, it's going to be at MetLife Stadium, baby. At a solid tailgate party we're having for everybody. It's a sold out show. Have tickets to the game, blah, blah, blah. But we might be holding an event on Sunday, sort of like a pop-up event where like we meet you guys at like some random bar in New York City and watch some ball. But the event by itself is sold out. So the event itself is sold out, unfortunately. And the Jets are getting anyone. They have Hassan Reddick waiting around the Jets organization or clowns. Hey, Dan, you think we can release Vaughn? No, we would still be pretty bad off. Is there one in Buffalo, Frankie? Soon, my friend. Next year, we're going to try and get it done. Adams is not a diva. He wants to win. I think it's a no-brainer. My question is, who's going to be closer when Stroud and Rodgers are marching down the field and we need one more stop? Who is that dude? Christian Benford, baby. That's exactly what it is. Dan, you are the man. Dude, thank God we got you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I have always wanted to make sure that I entertain you guys as much as humanly possible. That's been my goal since I've started this YouTube channel, since I've started my whole social media career. Oh, dude, I got swamp ass right now. That's not a good thing. All right, guys, listen, I love y'all. And I need to get to work, and I need to start prepping for this Bills and Houston Texans preview video. So, again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor and do so. Subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications because we're going to be having a hell of a week this week, unpacking everything and anything that has to do with, of course, the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans matchup. And God forbid an Adam Schefter update saying that the Buffalo Bills have acquired Davante Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. I would come on site, boys. I would splooge immediately the second that I read that. I'd screenshot it and put it in my spank bank, and I'd be going crazy. You know what I mean? Holy shit. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And stay tuned for my preview video of Buffalo Bills and also Houston Texans coming up in just a little bit. See you soon.